It's on deck with Evil Dead Chick. What's in store when you open the door? Step inside, my little ones. Bring your flashlight and good luck charms. Oh, and good luck charms. Oh. Might get dark. It might get scary. Maybe even a little insane. Crawl out from under the bed. Don't be afraid. Evil Dead Chick is here to entertain and thrill. Dead Eyes on deck with Evil Dead Chick. Let's hang out till the sun comes up.
All messed up.
Beyond recognition. Yeah, they're all messed up, skinned and alive, chainsaw ripped apart, maggot fight. All messed up, dead, yeah, dead. All messed up. Punctured eyes, blocked out, chopped up like firewood. Yeah, they're all messed up.
Well, I thought maybe the issue was fixed with making me small every time. But I guess I'm just going to have to click on that little box and make myself bigger. So I don't know what StreamYard has done, but they messed something up. So anyway, welcome to another episode of They're All Messed Up. And here in a little bit, after I get the housekeeping stuff out of the way, we're going to be talking about the case of the scorpion's tail and cat o' nine tails on this edition of They're All Messed Up. But I want to get some housekeeping stuff out of the way. First of all, I apologize that this was a little bit later, but I ended up having to work a little bit later. Therefore, I had to have a little bit of more extra time to watch these movies and rewatch one of them. One of them I don't think I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure I haven't. But Cat o' Nine Tails I have seen, but I wanted to refresh myself on it first. So, housekeeping stuff. Tomorrow, you're going to get a double dose of me because Candace and I are going to do a kind of short Friday Foolish starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to run about 30 to 45 minutes to allow me to have time to get ready for the Terrifier 3 watch along, which will be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And Hope will be joining me. Hope's going to be my special guest. And keep in mind, Hope has seen Terrifier 3, but I have not. So this is going to be really interesting and fun, I think. Also, I got a couple of watch alongs going on this weekend. There won't be any movie munchies, but there will be a soup and jello. So be on the lookout for that to drop probably Sunday. Um, but the watch alongs, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday's watch along will be Evil Laugh, and Sunday's watch along will be Chopping Mall, chosen by you folks that visit my channel and participated in the poll. Keep in mind, there is a new poll up now, and there's a tie on the Saturday's pick or Saturday movie choices. So everybody get in there that wants to have their say so on what movie is chosen for the March 22nd and 23rd watch alongs, which will be not this next weekend following, but the weekend after that. So we got all of that coming up. I want to remind everybody about the movie roulette. I've had somebody give money. Menelec gave a $7 super chat, but he didn't want to pick a movie for me to review. So I really want to get this started. So those of you that want to give a $5 or more super chat during any live stream, I do. And that does include watch alongs. It includes this one tonight. So if you want to give a $5 or more super chat during any live stream, you get to pick a movie for me to review. And it doesn't matter if one person does this, if 5 people do it, if 10 people do it, eventually I will review your movie. Guaranteed. It can be even a movie I said I have hated. Perhaps I'll like it again after rewatching it. I don't mean to sound like I'm complaining. I'm not really complaining, but if anybody sees this on the replay, can y'all please tell me what's keeping maybe you personally from being able to participate in these live streams? Because I mean, I love doing live streams and I want to continue doing them. But if nobody shows up to interact with, and I've had somebody pop in and out of here, but I got 0 now, unless StreamYard and YouTube is screwed up. So I love interacting with you folks. So if you would tell me what the drawback is of why you don't want to join the live streams, if it's, am I doing them too late? Am I doing them too early? Is it not meshing with people's work schedules? Am I coinciding with somebody else's stream that you want to watch and don't want to miss? I just want to hear what the reasons are. I mean, if you just don't like me anymore, please don't tell me that, because that might hurt my feelings. But if it's anything other than that, if it's the way I'm scheduling them or what have you, I would love to know so that I can plan better for future ones, because I used to have a pretty good crowd that came in here, and now virtually nobody comes to these things. And if it's a case of I'm not doing something that you're interested in, I want to know that too. I just don't want to be personally attacked. But I don't get on here to whine and bellyache about people not showing up for my live streams. But, I'll just be totally honest with you guys and gals. If people don't start showing up, I'm going to have no choice but to stop doing live streams. As much as I like doing them, I feel foolish sitting here talking to a screen and nobody's in here. So, I hope that those of you that see this on the replay can shed a little light on why all of a sudden I don't have anybody coming to this stuff. If there's something I've done, if there's something I've said that has drove you away, please let me know that. Just as long as you're not personally attacking me. But if I've said something off color that has upset some of you, I would like to know about it. As long as you're not trolling and just attacking me for no apparent reason. I want to hear what the reasons are. So, enough of me whining and belly aching about that. So, I guess I will talk to my computer and talk about these movies, and maybe somebody will come in before I'm done with this. So, um, first of all, the Case of the Scorpion's Tail, which was a Sergio Martino film that came out in 1971. Usually, Steve loves Sergio Martino movies. The majority of them, Martino did Torso, and he did a bunch of other stuff that Steve really, really likes. Um, but he's not fond of this one. And it does have George Hilton on it, which usually Steve likes movies with George Hilton on them as well. But it basically concerns a man who apparently is killed in a plane explosion, and his wife, who is, got a lover. And we find out later that her husband had a mistress who he was planning to marry. And this mistress was a wicked bitch, too. Excuse me. But so they were both fooling around on each other. So that, apparently he was planning on changing his beneficiary to be his mistress because he and his wife were estranged anyway. But that didn't get to happen because he blew up in this plane. And his wife, I believe, got $1 million. I'm thinking of Dr. Evil. $1 million. I can't do it like he did, but that's what I think of when I think of $1 million. So she has to go, I believe, to Athens, Greece, to be able to get this money, because I think this is where her husband traveled to quite a bit and did business. So she had to sign papers, and then the guy told her, he said, you might do better to take the check, and when you go back to London, you just cash it there. But no, she wants to cash it while she's there. She meets up with the private investigator that is supposed to be scoping her out and finding out if she had anything to do with her husband's death. I really don't know how she would have had anything to do with his death unless her and her lover were planning an explosive device on the airplane, and they would have been killing a bunch of other people as well. And they talk about not finding his body. I mean, the whole plane blew up. You probably wouldn't be able to find anybody's body, but I don't try to make sense of every aspect of all these movies, so I just go with it. And so this guy, I think his name is Peter Lynch. He's the private investigator that's sent to scope her out and find out if she had anything to do with her husband's death. And meanwhile, she meets up with his mistress, who, like I said, is a real wicked bitch, and tries to have her killed, and that doesn't succeed. And Lynch helps her, escape the clinches of the mistress's a partner in crime, so to speak. So then the killings start. And the reason why, the only reason I can think this is called The Case of the Scorpion's Tail is there's a pair of cufflinks that belonged to our main lady's late husband, that was basically the bottom half of a scorpion and the tail. And women are getting their throats slashed basically and then stabbed. So let's talk about these kills because I don't want to give away the killer in this. Because if you haven't seen the case of the Scorpion's Tail, you might not want to know who the killer is. But I will say one thing before we get to these kills. One reason I've never been fond of Martino's films is, I'm not a prude and I don't mind a little bit of flesh being shown or a sex scene here and there. But Martino seemed to, I don't want to say glorify, but he always seemed to have women in various stages of undress with their boobs flopping around and stuff like that. And real close up shots of the women's boobs. In Torso, he had this woman, Stone, going through the woods with her shirt open, with her big old boobies, for several minutes flopping around and her staggering around trying to escape the killer in the woods. I mean, I just thought that was a little, gratuitous, excessive, whatever you want to call it. And usually, most every movie that Martino has done, he has scenes like that. I'm not saying he was a pervert or anything. I'm just saying, that doesn't do it for me. Maybe it does it for men. But it doesn't do a thing for me. I'm mainly watching these types of movies for the kills. So, with that being said, let's get to the kills. So, we have a man that's stabbed to death. We have a woman whose throat is slit and she's stabbed in the stomach, and then kind of an incision made in her stomach. Another woman's throat is slit. A man's hands are slashed, causing him to fall from a roof to his death. And my favorite kill of this movie, a man has his eye gouged out with a broken bottle, and then he's stabbed. And then at the end, we have a man shot to death. So we have 6 different kills in this movie. In fact, both of the films I'm talking about tonight have 6 kills apiece, which brings me to the second film, which is Dario Argento's Cat of Nine Tails, which also came out in 1971. I do have a visual for this one. This was Steve's copy, but he has another copy, so he told me I could have this one. So I have my very own Blu-ray copy of Cat of Nine Tails now. So Cat of Nine Tails, while it's not my favorite Argento movie, I still enjoy it. So we have a robbery at a research institute, which really doesn't seem to be a robbery. They can't find anything missing. But that attempted robbery at the research institute leads to a series of at least one brutal murder. The synopsis says a series of brutal murders, but I consider only the first one brutal, and it was my favorite kill in the film, and I will get to that here in just a second. So you also have a blind guy who used to be before he went blind, he was a newspaper columnist, and now he does crossword puzzles and stuff and takes care of his niece Lori, who he just adores, and she adores him and calls him Cookie. And I think it's a very sweet relationship between the old man and the little girl. And that guy is played by Carl Malden of A Streetcar Named Desire, and he hooks up with a reporter played by James Franciscus, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and they start their own investigation to figure out who is killing these people off, okay, in the film, and why they are being killed off. Um, so they're offered up several clues. It's a mystery. It's a giallo. And giallos are definitely mysteries because you're always, or who done it. You're trying to figure out who is doing the killing. And I remembered who was doing the killing. Again, I'm not going to share that with you guys and gals tonight because um, I don't want to give it away in case you've not seen Cat of Nine Tails and you might want to see it later on. Um, so this is the movie that gave Dario Argento the moniker of Italian Hitchcock. And I can see in a lot of ways where, you could see those Hitchcock influences in Argento's work. But I still believe that Argento took those things and made them his own. He didn't just copy Hitchcock's style. I mean, Argento has his own style, and I think he always has. And although, like I said, this movie's not my favorite Argento, I still enjoy watching it. I enjoyed going back again and rewatching it. It has great characters in it. It has a very malicious, sadistic killer in it, and all of that. So my favorite kill in this movie is the first kill, where a man is pushed in front of a train and then the train runs him over and you see the body turning underneath the train. That's the most spectacular death, and that is my favorite kill of the film because the rest of the kills are pretty standard. So we have a man strangled, and then we have a woman strangled, and then we have a man stabbed in the chest. And the second, oh, I meant to say that there were 5 kills in this one, not 6. Sorry, miscounted, folks. So there were 5 kills in this one. There was one more kill in Case of the Scorpion's Tail. But this was my second, the final kill of the movie was my next favorite after the first kill, where the guy's pushed in front of the train and the train runs him over. So a man is pushed through glass and then he plunges to his death down an elevator shaft. And you hear him yelling and stuff. And see, it seems to take a while for this guy to finally hit and be dead. I forgot to give Case of the Scorpion's Tail a rating. I would give it a 4, but like I said, Martino has to put, the breast flopping, I guess, goodness for guys in there. And I just think, it's a little too much. Then you turn right around almost and have a close-up shot of this woman's boob that looks like it's pressing up against the camera. If that's your thing, then, by all means, don't listen to me. But so I'm going to take 1 deadite off because of that. And Case of the Scorpion's Tail is only going to get 3 deadites out of 5 for me. While Argento's Cat of Nine Tails, because it's not one of my favorites of Argento, it's not going to get 5 deadites out of 5, but I will give it 4, possibly 4.5 deadites out of 5. It was definitely my favorite of the 2 films that I covered tonight. So just a little note to let you know what's coming up on the next They're All Messed Up. I will be covering Crucible of Terror, directed by Ted Hooker from 1971, and The Fifth Chord, also from 1971, directed by Luigi Bazzoni. So I don't think I've seen either one of these, so be sure to tune in next Thursday as I discuss those 2 movies. And also, don't miss Friday Foolish tomorrow starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And the Terrifier 3 watch along with my special guest Hope. And that's going to be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Then I got a couple of watch alongs and a Soup and Jallos dropping this weekend. We've got Evil Laugh on Saturday starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Chopping Mall is starting Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And looks like I had 3 comments. Hey, Jack Doobie. Give it 5 tails out of 9. There can never be too much flopping. Well, I guess if you're a guy, if you're of the male persuasion, I guess you would appreciate that more than us women. And that's okay. Not a thing wrong with that. And Jack, I hate to, since you popped in here, I hate to be getting off of here as you are coming in, but you are welcome to return anytime. Like I said, I got just as Joe Bob Briggs, exactly. Exactly. And actually, speaking of Joe Bob, isn't he coming on tomorrow night? I thought that's what my husband said. So anyway, Jack, I hope you will return. It was good to see a new face in here, or a new name rather. I got these watch alongs coming up this weekend. I hope you'll check out the other stuff on the channel. Yeah, I believe the last drive-in's coming on tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure he is. But you feel free to participate in the movie roulette. I was telling everybody a little bit earlier that was listening or may watch this on the replay that I'm starting a new series called Movie Roulette, where if you give a $5 or more super chat during any of my live streams, that includes watch alongs, you can pick any movie to have me review on an upcoming episode of Movie Roulette. So just keep that in mind. We got polls for the next watch along. Everybody be sure to participate in the polls if you want to have some say so on the next films I do watch alongs for March 22nd and 23rd. And I guess that is all from me. Well, thanks, Jack. I hope that people find it fun. As of late, not too many people have been coming into my live streams. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong. So I guess that is it. So I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Thursday night, folks. We're heading into Friday. Hopefully, most of us will have a nice, relaxing, and fun weekend. And I'll see everybody next time.